I never could follow the path laid out in front of me. I did things my own way. I was the man I wanted to be. Never cared what people thought or muttered under their breath. I had my pistol by my side, and I was riding with death. I walked this road alone, on the run from all I've known, running free under the gun. Life ain't easy, living on the run. Come on. I thought I had it all till I run right into you. I give up my selfish ways, that's what a man would do. Never knew that my past was right on my trail. With a flash of 6-gun fury, I'd land myself in jail. I walked this road alone, on the run from all I've known, running free under the gun. Life ain't easy, living on the run. Come on. Living free under the gun. Life ain't easy when you're on the run. Come on.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Doug. You might be wondering, Doug, why you got that hood on? Because it's cold. It's cold in my house. I don't have the heat on. Yeah, I don't want to spend any money. And it's been perfectly okay the last few days, inside and out. But this morning I got up and it's a little cold. I took the dog for a walk and didn't put my jacket on. I'm outside. I'm walking. This is how I walk, apparently. And I got really cold. So I've been in the house, which is just as cold inside as it is out. And I've been wearing my jacket. That way I won't get cold. I hope y'all's doing good. I hope it's not too cold where you are. And the thing is, it's not even that cold. Like in the winter, it's going to be cold. But you know, I've been used to it being hot and poopy. But we got Dave in the chat. He says, "Call me just in case, because I'm just in time." Well, shouldn't we call you just in time? I used to work with a guy named Just in Case. I don't know why his parents named him that, but they did. Last night I watched Rambo Last Blood, and I really liked it, except that it was really, really sad. The last Rambo movie, John Rambo actually ended, kind of open ended because he actually decided to come home, and it ends with him standing there and he's looking at the farm. And sorry if I spoiled that for you. It's only been out for a couple of years now, but he's standing there looking at the farm and the credits roll, and you're like, maybe John Rambo will have a good ending to the story. But you watch Rambo Last Blood, it's like, nope, no, sorry. Then he goes and he does what he always does and stabs people with a Rambo knife and shoots them with stuff. And he's like, achoo. I liked it. It was good, even though it was sad. I started watching The Joker again. It's like, Doug, but how did you do that? Magic. But I decided to go to bed, so I didn't watch all of it again. Well, I think The Joker's pretty good. It's once again, it's a sad movie, but we know how that is. Got a few little news things here. Well, oops, what did I do? I'm gonna pull up. Let's see. Here we go. We've got Rotten Tomatoes. Watchmen first reviews. HBO comic book sequel series impresses. So I'm gonna have to say that's a big for me. I don't like Rotten Tomatoes because they're just obviously a bunch of bullcrap. Let's see what they got to say here. There's the trailer. We're not watching that. Don't really even want to read it, but we will. This is from Rotten Tomatoes. And it says Damon Lindelof returns to HBO with his rendition of Watchmen, the first live-action television series adaptation of Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons' iconic graphic novel series. Now that's wrong, because this is not an adaptation. They just took their story and made up a bunch of crap after Watchmen. This is not based on anything Alan Moore wrote, so you can't call it an adaptation. That's a bunch of bullcrap. The original 12 issues told explored. Now, somebody needs to be doing some editing here. The original 12 issues explored, not told, and you can't put both of those there. The original 12 issues explored an alternate 1985 reality. Now, why'd you have to put a reality there? If it's an alternate 1985, sorry, this kind of stuff just bugs me. Explored an alternate 1985 where America is on the brink of nuclear war. Now, I thought that was the real 1985 because isn't that the Cold War? Anyways, the story kicks off after the mysterious murder of the vigilante known as the Comedian provokes his peers, a group of heroes, including the inkblot mask-wearing Rorschach, the Batman-esque Night Owl, Silk Spectre, and otherworldly Dr. Manhattan, to come out of retirement to investigate the crime, leading them to an epic conflict with the supervillain. They can't even write a good... this just makes me mad. That's not an oversimplification that is not really what the movie or the comic is about. But anyways, let's just skip all that. Sorry, the stuff makes me mad. The series boasts... Well, no, here we go. It's 34 years later in HBO's Watchmen, and in this tale, both law enforcement and criminals hide behind masks. A white supremacist group in Tulsa, Oklahoma, has taken to using Rorschach's mask. This is nothing but a bunch of bullcrap. I'm not even reading the rest of this. Makes me mad. They're going to try to take modern themes here that every white guy is a racist. The inkblot mask is pretty much going to be the symbol for the red hat. It's bullcrap. Don't want nothing to do with it. Rotten Tomatoes is giving it really good scores, so we can pretty much throw that out the window. That's just complete and utter poop. We got John David in the chat with us. Glad to have you, buddy. You're a good guy, and we got Dave and John in the chat today. So, zang. Let's go and talk about this other movie though. I'm wanting to see. It's playing tonight. I kind of want to go see it. Gemini Man, and here we go. I might be doxing myself a little bit because here's my 3 closest theaters that are playing it. Actually, the theater in my town will have it tomorrow night. So, but yeah, Gemini Man. IMDb gives it 5.7 out of 10. So, that's kind of like not a very good score. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 25%. So that gives me hope it actually might be good. So it might be like 100%, by normal people. Metacritic gives it 38%. Now, here's what I always look at. And you notice this a lot now. And it shows you that these critics aren't normal people because they're slamming it in reviews, but you go down to 82% of Google users, and that's just random normal people with their Google app. 82% liked this movie. So that's telling me that it might be pretty good. Now here's some reviews down here. But anyways, I'm wanting to see it. I think it looks awesome. It's probably just a throwback 90s movie, which I'm completely cool with. I think it's really awesome that Will Smith is playing himself, a younger version and an older version. I think that's pretty awesome. Not everybody can do that. Well, I mean, they can with the technology now. But the dude, John David says he hasn't seen a trailer. Oh, dude. I actually probably should be able to play one on here. Yes, John says I'd go with Google. I would too, because like I said, that's just normal people rating the movie, and if normal people like it, then that's usually a pretty good sign. Let's see if I can pull up a trailer. Gemini Man. See if there's a short one we can watch. There's the 4-minute one. I'll pull up this 2-minute one here, and we'll give it a look over. There we go. I'll share that screen and we'll look at it real quick.
Tell me something. Why is it so hard for you to kill this man?
He knew every move of mine before I made it. I'd have him right there to take the shot.
I wanna be forever young.
And he'd be gone, like a ghost.
Do you really wanna live forever?
Who is he?
I think that looks pretty awesome myself. apparently he's like some kind of. He said there's never been another human like him, so apparently he's probably like a mutant of some sort. So yeah, it looks like a pretty cool movie. We got Sam and Tank Ferret Art in the chat. Hey Tank and hey Sam, appreciate you guys dropping in. We were just talking about Gemini Man. If you didn't see that, we watched the trailer there, the short one. I think it looks like an awesome movie. I don't care if Rotten Tomatoes just gave it a 25% because normal people seem to like it. That seems to be a recurring trend. So go watch Gemini Man if you want to. I'm pretty much, I don't like reviews anyways. They're not very accurate these days. There's plenty of indie books out there. You guys, if you're really into the indie comic scene, I've been trying to back whichever ones I can. The ones that look like something I would like. I don't know. You guys can make some recommendations here in the chat, but I'm wanting to back. I haven't got to back Doom Kickers yet. That's Doug Tenaple and Elliot Fernandez. I like Elliot and Doug, so I think that would be a good book. A friend gave me a gift of Gunship Thunder Punch when it comes out, so I'm looking forward to that. Also, another friend is going to send me Shinobi Sasquatch, which I really appreciate that as well. Those look really good. Of course, I backed Earthworm Jim, Black Hops. Let's see, Soul Finder by Doug Ernst. I backed that one. That one's coming. I need to back Mary Sue. And there's some more. There's plenty that I want to. I want to back. Yeah, that movie does look good. Definitely want to go see it. Oh yeah, and Grom, Gilbert's a good guy. Gilly, I backed his Lair book, and he's a really good guy. So if you can go back that, I've stretched my budget too far, and that's the bad thing. And then Christmas and everything's coming up. So it's a hard time. I understand that for people to back books. So, but if you can and you're looking, some of these will be out before Christmas. So maybe you can think, well, hey, I know somebody likes stuff like this. Maybe it'd be a good gift, whatever. Yeah, Mary Sue does look really good. It's got fantastic art, and I believe the story is going to be good. That's one I definitely want to try to back, which I've only got a couple weeks left, I think. But my problem is, I'm trying to get this stuff, and then my retro gaming addictions kind of kick back up. Maybe it's just nostalgia. I don't know. I got the NES out there. They were showing you guys all my games, but I really want to pick up a Famicom and just use an adapter to play my games that way. I'm also really wanting to pick up either a TurboGrafx 16 or just the PC engine. It's just like the PC engine, just as big and takes the little cards. And I really would like to have a Neo Geo. I don't know if any of you guys play any of this stuff or if you're into it or not, but it's my thing. I'd like to get the Neo Geo, but those are selling for like $500 or $600, and I really hate to put that much money into retro video games. The thing about the NES is you can play it in the Famicom. You can still play it on the cheap. There's so many games everywhere, and apparently everybody had one as a kid, so it's not hard to get a hold of. That and Sega and like Super Nintendo are still really cheap to pick up. I'm not one for hoarding or collecting things, but nostalgic things. Like I've still got all the comic books from when I was a kid. The ones I bought later on in life, I've sold most of those. Didn't really mean much to me. I just wanted to read them or whatever. But like all the stuff I had when I was a kid, that's the stuff I kind of hold on to. So, yeah, and we were talking about indie books for a second. Legends of the Lone Wolf is still up. We're at $6,639. That means that everybody that backs is now getting Lone Wolf magnets. So you'll be getting a poster. Well, everybody who backed before, never mind on that. Everybody that backed before went in demand gets a few extra things. But the people who are still backing will still throw in these stretch goals, which is you get the bookmark, you get 4 trading cards. This stretch goal added 20 more pages, so that's what we're finishing up now. But now we're into the magnets. And also one that's not listed here that we've extended is everybody who backs this gets the back to physical copy will get a copy of the Banjo Man ash can by Matt Veely and Six Scale Combat. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So you're getting all this extra stuff. If you back the book, you're going to get just a pile of stuff. If you back before we went in demand, you're going to get a couple posters and another ash can. So, that's pretty awesome. One thing I did want to bring up is if you haven't backed, there's plenty of stuff, but we're doing the limited edition. Let's see, where is it on here? Hardcover. There's only going to be 25 of these made. It says 17 out of 25 claimed, and that's actually a lie. Because I had some people that wanted to buy 2 and whatnot, so I made some extra perks for those. But there's at least 5 copies left, so I don't want to buy that. So if you're wanting to pick up a copy of this, you've only got a chance to get a few more. This is going to be a little bit bigger than 110 pages. It's going to have a couple pages of fan art. I'm going to write a foreword for it. Have a big nice thank you page. It's going to be something really special, and this will never happen again. I'm not going to reprint this book. I might print myself a couple copies and put up, but I'm not ever reprinting that book again. So someday when I'm dead and like 3 people care about what I've done, it's going to be, So let's see what's going on in the chat here. Dave says, I bought a boomerang once. Boy, did that purchase come back at me. I have 2 boomerangs hanging in my living room, actually. I don't really know where they came from, but I live in my grandparents' old house, and there was some boomerangs. There's a gun rack. Used to be in this room, but I moved it into that room. But there was boomerangs in it, so I have boomerangs. Tank says Mary Sue looks boss AF, which we know what that means, but this is a family channel, a family show, so we don't say things like that. But it does look really good. John Davis is getting ready for winter time. I'm totally getting ready. Got my jacket. Used to when I was a little bit younger. This cold weather didn't bother me. I run around in shorts with short sleeves on, and I was like, ugh! Now it's like it gets a little cold, and my arms hurt, my back, and my hips, and everything. I'm getting old. Yes, there is a John Davis said there's a Neo Geo Mini with built-in games. I saw that. It looks really cool. There's also it looks like a little arcade. You can plug it in the TV. They also got like a little handheld system. But my thing is, I'm to the point where I want to run real hardware and run an EverDrive cartridge on it. Here we go. Sam's brought up some books to hear that his top 5. It's Earthworm Jim, Mary Sue, Monster MD, Legends, Lone Wolf, Flying Sparks 3. That's my top 5 off the top of my head for the rest of the year. All those are very solid looking books. Really awesome stuff. He also says Soul Finder too. Yeah, Soul Finder looked good. I picked that up. There's a lot of drama and a lot of fighting going on out there, and at this point on Twitter is a crap hole. Support who you want to support. If somebody's a good guy and you want to support them, that's fine. If you don't care that they're a piece of crap, that's fine. But don't get mad when other people have standards. I have standards I don't expect you to live by, but those standards affect what I spend my money on. So that's just me. But there's a lot of really good projects. Doesn't matter how you feel about politics or anything. There's a lot of really good indie books out there. We're seeing an explosion in the indie market where the books are getting to, they're really becoming competition to the mainstream. Like we've seen that boom in music and stuff like that. Music, independent music took over. Had an explosion and was offering real competition. And we're at that point in the indie comic scene. There's some real competition out there, and you just look around a little bit, and you can find some really good stuff. If some of these books don't look like your thing, look around, because there's plenty of others going on. There's superhero books, there's like supernatural books, there's horror books, there's whatever you want. There's some manga type stuff out there. So don't be afraid of the indie books, especially a lot of these guys who are already delivering and have delivered 2 or 3 books. Just you might want to do a little research on who you're backing to see if they're going to deliver the book in the time you want. Because I know last year I backed a couple of books because they were supposed to be out last year as Christmas gifts and they didn't get out on time. So just look at stuff like that. But some of these guys, the books are already done and they're already printing. That's another thing I wanted to bring up. I'm actually going to look it up right here, and I need to back this one. This is one that I want to get. Just hang with me for a second if I can get my computer to do right. This guy's he's not an indie guy. He's a big shot. But what's funny is my book has more backers than his. But he's had a lot of drama and crap going on kind of surrounding his book. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that he never really brought up, that we're now seeing why maybe that it took so long. And that's Brigade by Rob Liefeld. So apparently he was working on this book and he crowdfunded this. I think is his second crowdfund. He did a Kickstarter, then he was doing Indiegogo. But he had to go back, and he doesn't own the rights to Youngblood. So he had to go back and take all the Youngblood characters out of the story, and probably caused him to have to rewrite the books. But he didn't talk about this. So I think that's one thing that hurt him, is everybody was wondering where the book was at and acting like he was never going to finish it. And he's finished it, and it's shipping out right now. He had some special Comic-Con editions. But, I mean, you can say Rob can't draw and all that crap. The stuff I've seen from this book looks awesome. That right there looks great. To me, the anatomy doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be realistic. It's comic books. I want it to be exciting. And this right here, it looks exciting to me. And I want to see Rob Liefeld on top. You can say whatever you want, like about his attitude and all that crap. But I think he's a cool guy, at least online. He's got a cool project. This year, man, he's absolutely killed it in the mainstream. He did a bunch of Marvel covers, and he did what's that one? I can't. My mind went blank. I don't know why. But he had a book that come out that Marvel did. The dude is just killing it. You can say whatever you want about him, but I'm glad to see him shipping the book out. I wanted to see it be a huge success, and I'm going to back it when I get the time. I'm a big fan of Liefeld's old work anyways, because it was exciting. A lot of the old Marvel stuff, like when he was drawing Cable and stuff, that's great stuff. Major X, there we go. I don't know why my mind went blank. But yeah, apparently those books were pretty good, and he did the covers on them, and they sold extremely well. and he actually did the Superman cover this year and a bunch of other stuff. So I want to see Rob do great. John David said so many good books. There's so much good stuff out there. Everybody wants to act like right now it's just a serious decline in quality of comic books. There's always been crappy comic books. Yes, and we see a lot of crappy comic books now, and there's crappy politics in them. But there's some good comics too. Donnie Cates' run on Venom is awesome. He's about to start a run on Thor. That's going to be awesome. I heard the new Ghost Rider book, the first issue was good. So that's something I want to check out. They're bringing back Ghost Rider 2099. Tom King is fired from Batman, so maybe Batman will get awesome again. But I mean, just give something a chance. There's errors when stuff is not that good. We just got to hold in there, and we can see now that all these woke politics are starting to affect things like the CW shows, which I loved. We got Jade Woodward in chat. What's up, man? If you notice, all the woke politics has really hurt the CW superhero shows. They said Arrow's season premiere, the views was way down. Batwoman had a pretty decent premiere, but the second episode, the views were like catastrophic. So people are tired of your politics. They're tired of your bullcrap that you're pushing. We see that in the Rotten Tomatoes reviews. There's something that's got these woke politics. They'll praise it, and then it'll bomb with regular people. And regular people, if they love it, the woke critics there, they'll hate on it. So just hang in there. It's just a shift. We'll make it through it. All the people. I hate to use the term soy boys or whatever, but at some point somebody's going to have to start being a male role model again, and we'll start seeing maybe a good male role model and good female role models. The family dynamic is what we need to bring back. And I'm sorry if you feel however you want to, but a child needs a man and a woman, and they need to work together. That's what makes a family. And women and men, a woman is not a man. She doesn't look like a man. She doesn't act like a man. She's a completely different. We're humans, but she's a different creature. Don't expect a man to act like a woman and vice versa. We're not programmed that way. And yes, there's women that might be a little more masculine than others, and there's some men that might be more feminine than others. But still, it's not supposed to be that way. Sorry there for a little politics there. I hate to get into that stuff. That's just what I see. We need to get back to the family dynamic. We need to get back to people. I'm sorry. I'm just going to get off on a tangent here. We need to stop having people having kids with everybody that they date. If you're dating somebody, you don't need to have a kid with them, especially if you're not going to make a commitment to them to be married to them or anything else. I've seen a girl that I know on the internet. She had she had 2 kids with this guy, broke up with him. Next year, she's with another guy, just had his kid. The kid's not even a year old. She's with another dude. And I guarantee you she's going to be having another kid. That's not the way this is supposed to work. And you can say, well, humans, they're not made that way. They should just, do whatever with whoever. No, they shouldn't. It's never worked that way. That's why the world is such a mess that it is now. We need this family dynamic. People need their roles. And I'm not saying that you should be stuck in something. I'm not saying a woman can't work and all this stuff. But there's a position for everybody. The man and the woman's, the way that they're made complements each other. See, that's why this doesn't work. That's why this doesn't work. And it's got to be like this. That's just the easiest way for me to explain it. So, like I said, sorry for the politics there, but that's just the truth. Glad to have. We got 5 viewers. It says I'm glad to have you guys here with me. You guys you're great guys. A lot of you here have been really good people, good friends that I talked to. Some of you's old friends from years ago. You all good people, and I'm glad to know you and glad you stopped by. Friday, we're gonna set a time and do a regular time thing. Sam's gonna come on with me, so we're gonna have old Sam come on. We're gonna talk about. I'm gonna get him talking about some of the books he's been picking up. He's been reading a lot of stuff, so we'll see what he's been listening to, what he's been reading, and get his opinion on some of the movies and stuff we're talking about. So tune in Friday for that. We'll have him on. We'll start trying to have some more guests. Tim said he would come on some morning, so we'll get Tim Lamb in here. I'll just start asking people and get people to drop in. If you want to come on, come on. Yeah, Sam, I saw your message, but I was asleep, and so I never did message you back. So I know he said he could come on Friday, so we're gonna have him on. But anything you want to talk about, we'll talk about it. Like I said, I don't like to talk politics, but I will talk about video games, movies, whatever. Just shoot me a message and come on here and we'll chat. I'm just trying to build up my following a little bit to sell more comic books. So I'm going to go ahead and get off. I'm going to take Axel. He's wanting to go for a ride. I told him I'd take him for a ride. He acts like he ain't been feeling good today. So I'm going to load him up, take him for a ride. And I hope y'all have a great day and be careful. And I will talk to you later. Bye. Bye.